From hot air balloons at sunrise to music festivals in the forest, here's what Colorado Springs summers actually look like. Now, these 9 events aren't just things to fill up your calendar. They're ways for you to actually get your family plugged in and start living like locals. Now, we're covering everything from Memorial Day to Labor Day, but heads up, July is super packed. So grab your calendar because there's something for the whole crew, whether it's music, motorsports, or wild donkeys. And this is how you make Colorado Springs start to feel like home.
Now, this first event is the official summer kickoff for Colorado Springs. I'm talking Territory Days. A bunch of old Colorado City is going to transform into the Wild West for the entire weekend, Saturday, Sunday, and then actually Monday as well. There's over 200 local craft vendors in the old Colorado City area that are going to be serving up, local brews, local food, lots of artisans and jewelers and all that sort of fun stuff downtown. There's also some great live music in several different areas of old Colorado City. I think Bancroft Park is actually my favorite area to go catch some live music down there. It's kind of got this big amphitheater outdoor feel to the park. It's very open. A lot of the best vendors are going to be right there in that area. They do have something for everyone down there. Like I mentioned, the live music, the food, they've got face painting for the kids, all your typical kind of fair stuff, like the bouncy jump machine things where you can clip the kids in and they go flying 50 feet in the air and it's crazy. There's some Native American dancing going on, some traditional Native American dancing. There's Old West gunfights and people dressed up in costumes. So it's a great family event. You definitely don't want to miss it.
It's a Meadowgrass Music Festival up in Black Forest, so 20 to 25 minutes northeast of Colorado Springs. It's at the La Florette Conference Center. Now, this is a cool festival because it is all 3 days of Memorial Day weekend. There's a ton of different kinds of music. There's indie, Americana, classical. There's just a lot of different, a very wide range of music types you're going to hear there. But really, for me, the festival part of it is what makes it so cool. You can camp for all 3 days if you want to. You can also get day passes if you don't want to camp and stay overnight in the pine forest, which I don't know why you wouldn't, but you can get day passes. And it's also really good for the family too. For the adults, there's a beer garden, tons of food trucks. There's going to be some wine out there as well. But then there's a super cool kids zone too. And the La Florette Conference Center, it's what I would call, I guess, a pretty secure place in the forest. So what people will do is they'll have their whole family out there and you'll see kids running all over the place. You'll see kids that are 3 or 4 years old just kind of cruising around with their siblings. So everybody just kind of has a good time, lets the kids run around, listens to a lot of music, have a lot of good food, a lot of good drink. And like I said, it's all 3 days. So you can spend your whole Memorial Day weekend up in Black Forest enjoying great music. I got a couple pro tips for you though. Number one, you've got to make sure that you take a jacket for sure, because the weather in Colorado for Memorial Day weekend, it could be super cold, it might be rainy, but it also might be 90 degrees. And then the second thing is pack a picnic. Even if you're not going to stay the night, you're just going for a day trip, pack a picnic, lay out on the grass, have some food with the family, and just enjoy Memorial Day weekend.
Every summer, the most dangerous race in America happens right here, and it is not a local secret anymore. This is the Pikes Peak International Hill Climb. Look at this. So first pro tip, we're just going to come straight out the gate swinging, is you can go up on the mountain. Pikes Peak, if you don't know what it is, first off, welcome to our channel. Pikes Peak is a 14,000-foot mountain here that overlooks Colorado Springs. It's big, it's domineering, and if you can race it, it races up Colorado Springs. People do it on feet, but now people do it in cars, and they've been doing it since 1916, and it's become this super renowned, big international event. People come from all over the world. The racers are hand-selected. You actually compete because it is extremely dangerous. There's 156 turns, and I remember the first time that my parents did this. My parents did not compete in the Pikes Peak International Hill Climb. They just drove up Pikes Peak to go to the visitor center. And they were commenting how they would never do it again because of how dangerous it felt driving at probably 7 or 8 miles an hour, because there's some extremely tight hairpin turns that you can see right here, which brings me to pro tip number one. You can watch it online, lame, or you can actually go up onto the mountain and you can get your spot early and watch the race. And it is happening all day. And there's big cars racing, there's little go-karts racing. It's absolutely insane. One of the best places to go, oh man, I'm gonna blow out my own spot, is Devil's Playground. So if you can get up to the Devil's Playground area, it's a great spot to be able to park. And then you've got great visuals. And unfortunately, if you're into this kind of thing, a high chance of seeing a wreck. Now, this is what's so cool about this. So it's June 22nd. So here's what's crazy about it is you're starting at about 9,000 feet, 156 turns to get all the way up to over 14,000 feet. Here's a couple pro tips for you. So you can go onto the mountain and watch. Now, if you're going to do that, you got to be prepared that you are going up, up, up in elevation. So number one is you got to get there actually way earlier than you anticipated. So if you're doing that, bring water, bring food, bring snacks, bring something to entertain you till this thing starts. And most importantly, bring layers, because depending on how high you go up on that mountain, it is going to get pretty dang cold. And it even in June, I know you're saying like, well, it's June. It doesn't matter. There is still a high chance that it is going to be right around freezing when you get up there, and it's just going to feel cold anyway. Now, the one part of the event that I actually go to every year is FanFest. FanFest is on Friday. Now, the main races are on Saturday and Sunday, but FanFest is a really, really cool opportunity to go downtown. They shut down all of Tejon Street, and basically the middle of the road mostly is blocked off, but there's vendors all up and down. Obviously, it's all about cars. It's all about racing. So you have some sports cars, you've got performance vehicles. Some of the race cars that'll actually be competing will be down there. Now, the coolest part probably that you'll want to see and your kids are going to want to see, which you can see behind my big old head, is this. You have this section that's blocked off, and it's not actually Nitro Circus, but it's kind of like that event where you've got guys on dirt bikes doing backflips, and it's like this whole stunt and performing event, and it's super cool. There's food vendors everywhere. There's music everywhere. It is really, really cool. You can get right up next to the cars and take pictures. So if you're a gearhead or your kids love cars or anything like that, the Pikes Peak International Hill Climb is, in my opinion, the most important, biggest event of the entire summer, and it is absolutely a can't miss.
This might be the most unique event on the list this summer. This is a Donkey Derby Days in Cripple Creek, and it's exactly what it sounds like, but we'll get to that in a second. They originally started this to try to get some more visitors to downtown Cripple Creek, and now it's kind of grown into this like weird cult following, and despite what it sounds like, it's a great time. Outside of the actual Donkey Derbies, they're going to have all sorts of different events and games and beer gardens and local craft food vendors and craft beer vendors. It's a really good time up there. But the main event, they've been doing this for 94 years now. It's kind of crazy. They will release their wild donkey herds into the downtown streets, and participants get to help these donkeys race downtown over the course of this 3-day event. They're going to run a derby every single day with these donkeys. So it's a really great time. You can't miss this one this summer. It's just about an hour west of Colorado Springs. Hour 15 west of Colorado Springs, actually kind of one of the casino zones up there. So this is one of the few times that you can go up there and not only have the casinos or something like that to do. So can't miss event. It's a lot of fun for the kids, lots of fun for the adults. Pro tip, there is a kids zone up there. So you can actually take the kids up there, drop them off in the kids zone, let them have a great time, and go hit the beer gardens yourself. So don't miss this one. End of June this year, just outside of Colorado Springs, Donkey Derbies. Now, this next event is my personal favorite of the summer. I'm a little bit of a redneck at heart. I know it doesn't necessarily look like it, but I am. And this next event, it is a classic can't miss in the summer in Colorado Springs. They've been running this for just over 150 years now. This is a Pikes Peak or Bust rodeo. So July 8th through 12th, it kind of corresponds loosely with the county fair. You can get all your summer cowboy events in one show right here in that weekend. So starting things out, I mean, it's got all the classic rodeo events. So everything from the steer wrestling and bull riding and barrel racing and roping, it's got all of that stuff. And it is one of the most exciting events of the summer to watch. But then all around it is a big festival with food vendors, local crafts, family fun activities. It's an incredible time. So you got to get your tickets early for this one. That's my pro tip. This sells out almost every single year. And then one of the nights is military night, and that basically goes to the entire Air Force Academy. So again, you got to get your tickets early for this event. This one is such a blast. You can't miss it.
Now, Sam just told you guys about the Pikes Peak or Bust Rodeo, and he mentioned that was his favorite event of the summer. This one is by far my favorite event in all of El Paso County. We're talking the El Paso County Fair. This is going to be the middle part of July. The dates kind of vary a little bit, but it's the middle part of July. And this is just your classic small town county fair. It's not in Colorado Springs. It's out in Calhoun at the El Paso County Fairgrounds. It's about 40 to 45 minutes east of Colorado Springs. And if you've ever been to a small town county fair, that's exactly what this is. There's a grandstand area where you're going to see a crash-up derby, truck and tractor pulls. There's a huge, I shouldn't say a huge rodeo. There's a large rodeo as far as events. It's not quite the same level of competition as the Pikes Peak or Bust Rodeo is, but it's still a really cool rodeo. They do mutton busting, where it's little kids grab a hold of a sheep and try to ride it around. My son did it last year. It's freaking hilarious. So mutton busting is always a fan favorite. They have a bull riding event that, like I said, maybe not the best competition, but it's still great. Just a classic small town rodeo. In addition to that, one of my favorite things is definitely all of the 4-H stuff. So if you're not familiar with 4-H, it's where kids that are in elementary all the way through high school, they go through a 4-H program where they learn about farming and agriculture, animals, stuff like that. So in all of the livestock buildings on the fairgrounds, that's where the kids take their animals that they've raised all year long and they go to show them in competitions. So you'll have cattle, sheep, goats, turkeys, chickens, pretty much any kind of animal you can think about, it seems like. So you can cruise through all the livestock buildings and kind of check them out, meet the kids that raise the animals. And like I said, then they do have a sale that takes place where the kids get to earn a bunch of money. If they win, if they have like a grand champion pig, they're going to get a lot of money for that thing. And if the rural aspect of it's really not your jam, you can definitely check out all the rides on the Midway. There's going to be a Ferris wheel, the thingy that flips you upside down and all the money falls out of your pocket. There's tons of balloon animals for the kids to get. They can win stuffed animals. Also, let's face facts. This is a small town county fair, so it has a little bit of a carnival feel to it as well. So I'm not saying they're cheating, but I don't know if the kids are really getting all the balloon animals that they should be getting. But you can have fun. There's live music. It's really just a good family-friendly event. Like I said, it goes for 2 weeks long in July. El Paso County Fair, my personal favorite thing to do in summertime in the entire area. The next one we're going to talk about is really more of an all-summer-long event. It's the Colorado Renaissance Festival. Now, this is up in Larkspur, which is between Castle Rock and Colorado Springs. So from the north side of Colorado Springs, it's probably about a 25-minute drive. Now, this is up to the exit for the Renaissance Festival. So I'm going to give you the first pro tip right now on this one. Get there early in the day. Number one, it's going to get super hot because it's Colorado and it's sunny and it's June and July and a little bit of August. But also the traffic is crazy. So whenever you get off of I-25, there's one exit and it's a 2-lane road that goes back into the pine forest where they have this 1500s era city built for the Renaissance Festival. So again, one 2-lane road and just a huge dirt and field parking lot. So the traffic gets really bad. So definitely try to get there early, number one. Now, if you've never been to a Renaissance Festival, and I will say I'm not the biggest fan of Renaissance Festivals, I'm not traveling the country looking for them, but this one is a pretty fun thing to go do with the family. So there's a ton of stuff for kids to do. They get their face painted. They can make little arts and crafts. There's even an elephant kids can ride, or adults can ride too if you want to ride an elephant. There's medieval jousting that happens several times throughout the day. There's beer that can be drank. There's comedy shows. Honestly, it's a pretty good time all day long. So a couple of things you need to know. Whenever you get to the Renaissance Festival, you can buy tickets there. You don't have to get them ahead of time. You can pay cash or card, usually for tickets, but this is where the second tip comes in. Make sure you take a good amount of cash with you because a lot of the vendors don't take credit card, it's cash only. Once you get up to the front of where the entry is to the festival, there's going to be some hecklers. They might even throw some stuff at you. Everybody that works there is dressed up in period appropriate costume. And if you want to, because maybe you don't just have a period appropriate costume in your closet, you can actually rent a costume there if you want to. They have ones for little kids, for girls, boys, whatever it is. But you don't have to have a costume. You'll probably just get heckled a little bit more if you don't have a costume. So So you go into the festival, and like I said, there's just tons of events to do all day long. One of the best things, I think, for me personally, is the food that they have there. Now, we're not talking gourmet, 5-star Michelin chef level food. We're talking big turkey legs made on a grill, mac and cheese that's probably kind of Kraft macaroni and cheese with some other stuff on top that's pretty good. Corn on the cob. You just walk around and eat the corn on the cob. They have steak on a stick. I would say probably 95% of the food that's there is on a stick. If it's steak on a stick, potato on a stick, whatever it is. So just go, don't worry about your diet, eat lots of yummy food, watch some jousting, watch a guy try to swallow a sword, have some witches heckle you and throw stuff at you in the crowd. Renaissance Festival all summer long up in Larkspur. You definitely got to check that one out.
July was a super packed month, but now it's August 2nd, and we're going to tone it down just a little bit. In fact, we're going to leave the kids at home. It's starting to get pretty hot in Colorado Springs, so we're actually going to leave Colorado Springs proper and go up the mountains just a little bit for what I think is probably the best summer event as a date day. And it is kind of a whole day. This is an event called Vino Notes up in Woodland Park. The elevation goes up just a little bit and the temps come down, but the vibes are immaculate. So this place, first pro tip is that you are kind of bottlenecked as you're driving out towards Woodland Park. If you've ever done that during a busy time, it can get wild driving through the canyon. So you definitely want to get there a little bit early. Unfortunately, there's not really any great food in Woodland Park. So you're just going to kind of get there and go explore something. I don't think that the donut place is that good, even though everybody says that it is. That aside, you're not going there for the donuts. You're going there for wine. I'm going there because my wife likes wine a lot. Now, the big ticket item that you're going to want to do, see what I did there, is get your tickets early because they do a discount for buying them early. And they have different price tickets for non-drinkers that are only $25. And then the tickets are $40 if you buy them in advance. That's huge because what the ticket actually gets you is festival entry, unlimited tastings, hey-o, and wine glasses and totes for the first 1,000 people that get there. Another reason to get there early. Now, there's also VIP tickets, but the real thing that we're doing throughout the day, it's like, how do we spend the whole day out there? There's art galleries, there's music, because it's not just about the wine. It is also about being able to listen to jazz music. And if you've never been to Woodland Park or you are like trying to find a reason to go up there, this is probably the best reason. It's either this or you're going up there for a farmer's market. And this is actually in the same area, if you have been up there, as the farmer's market. Memorial Park is right there in the center of town. It's a beautiful, beautiful little park, but the parking can get really, really tight. So again, getting there early is key. And just plan that while it might be warm during the day, the later that you stay and listen to music, the cooler it's gonna get. I cannot recommend enough. Put this on your calendar. Husbands, put this on your calendar. Buy the tickets now. Your wife wants to go. You don't even need to ask her. She wants to go. What woman doesn't love wine and jazz in the mountains? And rounding out summer, the end of summer as we know it, is Labor Day Liftoff. This is something that most people know Albuquerque for, but this is a better event, in my opinion, because Albuquerque is absolutely bananas with how busy it is. You'll sit in traffic for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and maybe get to see some balloons take off from the highway. In Colorado Springs at Memorial Park, there is every Labor Day, the big liftoff. We have over 70 balloons that come together. Now, the big events of the Labor Day liftoff are really the morning event, which is the actual liftoff. So every morning, you really want to get there between like 5:30 and 6 so that you can get there early enough to watch them all take off and fly to wherever the heck that they're flying. You can also actually go on rides in some of these things if you're into that kind of thing. So the rest of the day, it's very carnival festival-like. There's bouncy castles. There's a bunch of food vendors. There's funnel cakes, turkey legs, corn dogs, things like that. There's also vendors like Champion Windows. It's a scam. Don't buy those windows. They're $60,000 for your house, which is absolutely absurd. Additionally, in the evening, what we typically go to is the Balloon Glow, which I think this event is really a little bit more cool. In my opinion, I like this part a little bit better just because visually it's really, really stimulating. You're just going out there, you're going to bring some lawn chairs, you're going to have a bunch of friends, you're going to have some snacks and things like that. And what you're watching is they don't even really take off. It's just that when the sun starts going down, they'll just crank those big old flames and the entire balloon is now, you guessed it, glowing. And it's just really beautiful. We go out there every year to this. We park on one of like the little side streets, maybe in like an alley, and just kind of like walk ourselves over. But we always bring some little camp chairs. You cannot forget those. Otherwise, you're just going to be kind of sitting in the grass. And there's a lot of people that go to these. You'll also see some acrobats and people doing like little tricks and little people doing like street performers playing some music, stuff like that. But it's just a really cool event. And everyone kind of signals this as the end of summer, but not the end of goodness in Colorado Springs, because right about that time, next you're looking towards leaf peeping season, and then you're starting to put away some of those summer activities because the weather's going to start getting wild, and you're going to start preparing for the rest of the winter activities that are coming down the pipe.
Now, those 9 events throughout the summer aren't the only thing that's going on. All across the city, we're going to have all sorts of other unique summer events that you can't miss. So these bonus events are going to include things like the summer concert series at Hillside Gardens. It's this beautiful little venue downtown where they host a lot of weddings and events, and they are also going to be hosting a concert series every summer. It's intimate, it's small, it's vibey. You don't want to miss it. Another great venue in town is going to be the Phil Long Music Hall at Bourbon Brothers. You're going to catch some awesome acts there. And then, of course, our big venues like Weidner Field, where the Switchbacks play. They're going to host concerts all summer, as well as Ford Amphitheater, the newest addition to Colorado Springs.
Absolutely cannot miss things to do this summer is also Switchbacks games. This is our local semi-professional soccer team. In fact, they were the 2024 national champions, which was so cool. It was such a fun event. It is my favorite stadium. It's super small. There's no bad seats, and the tickets are super cheap. There's fireworks, there's light shows, there's loud music, and it's just a great way to bring the whole community together. You also have Vibes games. Now, less people attend the Vibes games. Those are baseball games. They used to be the feeders for the Rockies, but they're not anymore. So they're just really small, super local games. They're really fun. You can go and get tickets for super cheap. And it's who doesn't love baseball in the summer?
Now, the last summer bonus thing we've got to tell you guys about, and it's not unique to Colorado Springs, but I feel like we do it on a different level, are farmers markets. Farmers markets are going to start kicking off here right after Memorial Day. They're going to go all summer long, and there's several places across town to do it. The classic ones that I think of are in Old Colorado City and then up in Black Forest. So if you like farmers markets, you definitely got to check those out. Now, if you want to know more about Colorado Springs and not just the best 9 summer events, check out this video because it's the one YouTube thinks you need to watch next.